Where's the proper advice? Where's the understanding of how you start when it feels like an impossible thing?
I remember I would see people running along the road and I would think, what? Why would you put yourself through that? I remember having no running gear because I wasn't a runner. So I'd went to the cupboard and got a really old pair of Dunlops. And he had jogging pants that were painting gear, big old cotton t-shirt and a maternity bra. Because
Amazing.
That's the only thing that would hold these double E boobs up.
There are lots and lots and lots of people who start a couch to 5K as we've known it in the past that don't continue it.
Walking is a really important part of running and even elites do it.
Hello and welcome to episode number 6 of I Can Run a Marathon with me, Emma B. Lovely to have you with us. How the devil are you? How is it going? How are the runs? How is it shaping up? How are you feeling? All of these questions and many more on the way. If you're watching this on YouTube, please hit subscribe and then you won't miss any of the other episodes and you can go back and watch the other ones as well. And if you're listening on Apple or Spotify, give us a follow. That would make us very happy. We are now less than 10 weeks away from the London Marathon 2026. I'm going to say that like I didn't hear it properly. 10 weeks away from the London Marathon 2026. And it's where the long runs are properly getting longer. I think everybody is kind of at half marathon-y stage, dare I say that, around the 12, 13 mile mark, which is a really, really long way. And this is where, I don't know about you, but for me and for other people that I know, some of the niggles are starting to creep in. Little bit of backache. Little bit of ankle problems, getting tireder. It's taken a little bit longer to recover, maybe, from those long runs as well. So this is when you need to make a note of any rookie errors, okay? And I learnt this week it is all about timing, because the long runs could mean a very different thing if you don't get your timings right. So here's an interesting thing. And a rookie mistake, I'm very sure of it. So last week I got myself up, game head on for the long run with Chris. Had a good night's sleep, ate properly for 13 miles. This morning, 7.5k. So I was like, that'll be fine. Be fine, I could do that, smashed it. Late night. Haven't hydrated properly this morning. Didn't think about my poo. And I'm really suffering. Game face on for every run. Lesson learnt. Yeah, see what I mean? Yeah, exactly. Okay. Rookie error. Joining us for this episode, and I am so pleased that she's with us today because she's mega. You're going to love her. She is a trail running ultra runner. She is co-founder and trustee of Black Trail Runners. She is also, get this, a UK athletics qualified leader in running fitness and the author of her new book, Start Where You Are. It is Sabrina Pace-Humphreys. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for
absolute pleasure.
Thank you for bringing the energy,
Always.
the positivity, and the absolute slice of genius and inspiration that Start Where You Are, the beginner's 5k running guide for women, with you, because it's the one thing that's out there that hasn't been done before. I don't think there is. You kind of just go, where's the proper advice? Where's the step-by-step? Where's the understanding of how you start when it feels like an impossible thing? What was the motivation for the book? Because I think everybody would have maybe expected a, sort of like something that clad in plastic that was waterproof that you could take with you on the ultra marathons that you do.
It did.
Yeah.
But you know what? And yeah, people did expect that as the second book. It's what's she going to write after the first one? And everyone thought, right, she's going to write about ultra marathons. But it had to start with the Couch to 5K. It had to start with a book. And you're absolutely right. There isn't a book like it. That's the reason I wrote it, because there isn't a book that's dedicated to learning to run or returning to running for women.
Yeah.
And especially women, hence the reason I have the chapters in there that we'll talk about, that are navigating midlife as well, that are having to deal with, let's say it, running when they've got periods.
Yeah.
All of these things that have been seen as taboo over the years. It's like, well, where's the book that comes from a place of lived experience?
Yeah.
From a woman, a mum, a grandmum that's like done it and has trained in it, is a qualified coach in it.
We got a qualified. Could you please tell us what you, because it sounds so fancy and I love hearing it. Say it again.
I'm a UK athletics coach in running fitness, which basically means I can create running plans.
Amazing.
I can coach group and individual running plans from 5K up to ultramarathon, basically. And I'm also a level 3 personal trainer. So that was really important to me, because if I'm advising women, which I've done for 10 years, I want to ensure that I'm giving them the very best advice. Yeah. And I distilled it all into this book.
It is. I mean, there's everything in here, as well as your lived wisdom, as well, which I think is really, whilst this is factual and practical and tangible as well, it also is full of your heart and spirit, about where this passion and where your drive comes from. Can you take us back to post babies and where that running started?
Oh my God.
Had you always had fitness in your life?
No.
Right, so as a kid, were you?
No.
Right, okay.
No.
People say that though, and then they'll go, oh, I was in the netball team.
Oh my God, no. So I grew up in a single parent family.
Yeah.
Like no money. Back in the day, the kind of social security, provident loan family, people that are here and now will be like, yeah, I know that. And so my mum had no money for any extracurricular activities.
Yeah.
That's not something that we did. It wasn't something that our family did, was that. So I grew up in the Cotswolds. I grew up in like what is currently kind of, the most beautiful county of the UK.
Yeah.
But, I grew up, we had to, we were before kind of food banks, we were that family. So when I say I didn't do sport, I didn't. And also, I grew up as a biracial little girl in a very, very white country town. Yes,
absolutely. I'm very sure.
And so therefore I had to deal with a lot. And going outside was actually quite unsafe for me. So no, running was not a thing. I remember I would see people running along the road, like when I started driving, and I would like laugh because they looked like they were in such pain, and I would think, what? Why would you put yourself through that out of choice? Why would you look like you're really suffering? And granted, they were the typical athletics club males normally,
yeah.
Very lithe, short shorts, vests,
yes.
Even in the depths of winter.
Were they quite loud as well?
Very loud, like chasing each other. And I was like, no. I did not see myself represented there. So I didn't do cross country at school. I wasn't part of the netball or the athletics team. It just wasn't me. And so my route into running came, I've got 4 children.
Amazing.
I've got 3 grandchildren as well.
Amazing.
I love those grandchildren.
Yeah, I bet. You're like that. Yes, okay, I'll take them again. It's fine. It's fine.
I'm obsessed. But I had my first child at 18.
Yep.
So I just turned 2 months after I was 18. I had Rhiannon, and then I went on to have Brandon, and then I had a big gap. Things changed within my life. My relationship broke up. I met my now husband, who is just the best man ever. And then I had 2 more children after, when I met him, saying, you can have me and my 2 kids, but I'm not having any more. And then I felt really sorry for him. I felt really sorry for him. I was all right, I'll give you some more. So I went from kind of never thinking I would have children before I had Rhiannon and Brandon to having 4. And
gosh, that's a lot. It's a lot. It's hard work.
It was really hard work. And you know what? I loved being pregnant. because I loved eating. Like, I love my food, Emma. Like, I loved it. And it was like this diet culture when I was pregnant. I was like, it's out the window.
Thank you very much.
Just please give me the cake, give me the sweets, give me everything. I'm feeding the baby. But what I found after having Cicely, my fourth, was
Great name, by the way.
Thank you. Well, one of my... See, we're going off on a tangent already.
Sorry,
I knew this.
my fault.
One of my favourite films is Beaches.
Beaches?
Yes! Oh my God! I love that film. And the main character's name is Cece Bloom.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't call the kid Cece Bloom. What can I call her? And it was either Cecilia or Cicely, so that we could call her Cece.
That's
so
gorgeous.
I picked Cicely.
Thank you for the story. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Well, thanks for asking. Nobody's ever asked before. So I had Cece, and I went into this. I didn't even know what it was. It was this kind of period of... I'd always experienced high anxiety as a child, which I now know was kind of high functioning trauma, etc., etc. Always that feeling like something bad was going to happen.
Yeah,
and
okay.
I could never relax because it was like, what's around the corner? And that transpired into episodes of depression as I was growing up. And then when I had Cece, I just entered this state of being which I remember trying to breastfeed the baby, and I just felt repulsed in my own body and having her and I remember these feelings. I was like, is this normal? And then just feeling this detachment from my life. I was running a business at that point, a lack of care of that, just this kind of hopelessness, which engulfed more and more of my waking day. But I just, I'm quite a type A personality in the sense of I was just like, well, this is just what it is, right? I'm just... Ride it. Just get on with it, Sabrina. Just like keep moving, keep going, keep doing what you're doing. And I went to the 12-week check, and really, really quickly, the questionnaire that they were asking, that I didn't even know at that point that they were asking questions to score you for mental health.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. Yeah.
Some of my answers were pretty like level 10. Okay. And very, very quickly she diagnosed that I was postnatally depressed. Yeah. And that I remember the day, and that alongside medication and talk therapy, she said to me, this was 2009, and I want you to do something that gets you out the house, like away from your everyday life, something like jogging.
Did she say that word at that point?
Something like jogging.
Okay, and your reaction was?
I can't say it on the radio, but it was like, that's not gonna happen. Like, I'm 5 stone overweight, I'm breastfeeding, I'm here with you today with like scaffolding around my chest.
Yeah, oh my God, it's awful feeling.
I feel bad enough about myself as it is, never mind putting myself through out there with them judging me as like, no. And so I left with my prescription and with my, appointment to speak to someone. But, Emma, I just, as each day went on after that, I just felt so hopeless. And these thoughts of not being here
100%
were so overwhelming that I was like, you know what? It got to a couple of days after, I was like, if a doctor is telling me that I should try jogging, maybe I should try jogging. Yeah. And it was that day. And I remember like had no running gear because I wasn't a runner. No shoes, no lycra, no sports bra. So I'd like went to the cupboard and got like a really old pair of Dunlops. Like the painting gear, with the splatter.
The painting gear.
Because
exactly.
I only had jogging pants that were painting gear. Big old cotton t-shirt. I think it was like something I got from a charity shop for painting. It might have had Flora London Marathon on it. And I was just like, and a maternity bra, because that's the only thing that would hold these like double E boobs up. And I went out to where I thought no one would see me, which was like the canal towpath. It was like, because I didn't want to go on the road, because I was like, I don't want people seeing
And
me.
that's got to be and I know that you've spoken to thousands of women. That fear of being seen and being judged, and everyone is going to think, and that it still happens. It still happens. I still get the fear sometimes myself. Now I do, and I'm sure you do as well. We all do. But that initial fear of not being seen, of being seen and being judged, and that I don't belong, and I'm not a real runner, and I shouldn't be out here is really common, right?
It's so common. It's so common, and it is one of the biggest barriers for women taking up running. That there is. It's kind of that
that's so
fear,
awful, isn't it? That's awful. That makes me so mad.
And it's we could get into the patriarchy, and we could get into all of that, but ultimately it comes from a place of being told for aeons that in order to call yourself a runner, you have to look a certain way, move a certain way, talk a certain way, read and it's such BS, but we've lived with it for so long that we've embodied it.
Yeah.
So therefore it stops us because we say, well, I can't go out because I haven't got the right shoes. Yeah. Or I'll lose 5 stone first.
Yeah.
Or, well, I think I'm going to need to walk, and if I walk, I'm not a runner.
Well, this is one of the funniest things is right at the beginning of the book. It's right at the beginning of the book where you say it was the 5 stages, isn't it?
The trans-theoretical theory of change.
Yes, here it goes. The 5 stages of beginner running behaviour. I absolutely love it. I love it. Number 1, nope, no way. I'm not a runner. I'm not even thinking about it. 2, okay, maybe I can try running. Contemplation, getting ready stage. It's carry on, please carry. It's amazing.
Yeah, and then we go on to doing it, don't we? We're actually, oh my God, I'm out here. I'm actually doing it. And then we go on to, I'm continuing to do, I'm actually doing the thing, continue. And then we go on to this kind
Check me out, I'm bloody running.
Check me out, I am bloody running. I'm out here. And it's, people think that, people are told that in order to be a runner, like that you have to be doing a certain amount of minute miles, and you can't walk if you walk when you're running. And we were talking about it before, the kind of the amount of times that personally I know women around the world, the mansplaining, whether it's conscious or unconscious, but come on love, it's called a run, not a walk. And I have had to pick people up on that so many times, because actually walking is a really important part of running, and even elites do it.
Please explain. Well, you're going to explain that in a bit for me, because there's so much I need to speak to you about. So you've been diagnosed with severe postpartum depression. And for anybody that has been through episodes of depression, that disconnect is real. It's really bizarre. And can you remember the moment you started to come back to yourself? You started to come back to life. You started to kind of just go, it's that thing where you sort of, because part of my recovery from my 3 years of being sick and losing my job and all that kind of stuff was feeling that disconnect, and it's a bit, you're sort of feeling like you're over here.
That's
somewhere.
It. You're detached.
You're so detached. And there's that moment, when you start to kind of go, I can feel my feet on the ground, I can feel the wind in my hair, and I'm outside. Yeah. That must have been really thrilling for you.
It was that day. It was the shuffle.
Yeah.
It was the shuffle, because that day, getting, one of the hardest things I've ever had to do within my running career is get out that door. Like,
so common, people,
like getting out that door and getting to the start of where I was going to start to run. And it was that I felt so disconnected from my body, and I'd felt so many of these deep, dark, awful thoughts about how the future might look for me and my family.
Without me there.
Without me, basically, without me there. And on that shuffle, I knew that there's no way I'm going to be able to jog this whole way. So what I'm going to do, even I had no idea, I had no coach, no magazine that I was reading. I was like, what I'm going to do is for a minute, I'm going to shuffle, and a minute I'm going to walk. A minute. And all I could think about in that 45 minutes it took me to do that, because I went too far. I did a mile. I didn't know any better. And it was like 45 minutes of don't fall in the canal.
Yeah.
Because yeah, you've thought about unaliving, but it wasn't through falling in the canal. Breathe.
Yeah.
You've got to breathe, Sabs. And get home.
And get home.
Right, so it's breathe, get home. And I knew in order to get home, I had to keep shuffling. And that shuffle was the run walk. And when I got back, when I fell in the back door, because I did fall in the back, my legs gave way. I fell in the back door. I was on my back. Husband looked down. He was like, "Are you all right?" And I'm like, "I'm not really sure, to be honest with you. I don't know who I am, what I'm doing." But what I'd realised when I was there is that I had been present in my body, which was something that I hadn't felt for so long. Because I had to breathe and I had to be conscious of breathing. Yeah. And in that being present of breathe, don't fall in the canal, get home, breathe, don't fall in the canal, get home, I hadn't had one thought about taking my own life. And it was in that moment lying there that I felt just this glimmer of like a bit of pride in myself.
Wow.
A bit of hope.
Wow, that's incredible.
And that, for me, is the secret sauce, even then, that kept me thinking, you know what? When I feel that my legs can carry me again, I'm going to try and do that again.
Yeah.
And that feeling I remember it's my why, right?
Yeah, absolutely. That kind of absolutely. I'm not going back there again.
No.
I'm not going back there again.
No.
And whatever I need to not go back there again, however long it takes, however difficult it is worth doing.
You've said
It's
it.
worth doing. And that's the end. That's as simple as it is.
That's it.
You know,
it's not complicated.
It is. I'll tell you what, though, it's really interesting because so many people have talked about the most difficult bit, getting out that front door. And what I love about this, and I want to ask you about this because there's over 1 million people that have entered the ballot for this year's London Marathon, and you know, people like yourselves have opened doors for so many women and so many women who just thought it wasn't for them, that they weren't good enough. There are lots and lots and lots of people who start a Couch to 5K as we've known it in the past that don't continue it. They stop, they falter. I'm one of them. Mm-hmm. You know, I've tried it in the past and it didn't work for me. I say it didn't work for me. I stopped it. Mm-hmm. This is different. And I wonder what your theory is about that, because you know, one of the joys that I'm getting about my running journey. I love it. I love it. My running journey. Yes, I'm on a journey.
You'll start calling it your running career soon.
Oh my God. Can you imagine?
Your running career.
My running career. That you kind of go, I just wonder what your what your take on it is, why so many of us kind of do falter at those early stages.
I think we go too far, too fast, too soon. It's simple, Emma.
Yeah.
I see it. I've seen it for 10 years. I started coaching women in 2016. I started my own face-to-face run group in my town because I wanted women to feel even a semblance of what I had felt, and I was like, how can I do that?
And was that your face-to-face run group? Was that something you just said, okay, who's with me? And you turned, and so what happened on the first day of your...
Oh my God, I was so scared.
I bet you were.
I was so scared because I had been part of an athletics club, and the local council had contacted the athletics club to say, we see that there's a real need for a running group for women in the town, and we need a leader, we need a coach. And a member of the athletics club said, Sab, I reckon you would be good at that. So they put me through my running leadership, which is like the first step on the qualification. So I became a running leader, and I remember like setting up Stroud Mums on the Run, which is I still do it every Friday. Still, after 10 years, we go out. And I was so nervous because I hate, you know, you might not think it, Emma, but I get really like fearful about putting stuff out there and like no one turning up.
Yeah, it is a scary
And I was
thing.
so scared. I was like, oh, if no one turns up. But then I was like, you know what I say to these days, even if one woman turns up and I can help her, she might go on to talk to another woman.
Yeah.
And like I was standing there, it was a cold winter's day, January, 10 years ago. And literally I would see these women. I remember it was like 9:20 and it was due to start at 9:30. They were like peeping out the side of like bushes.
Who's going first?
Because they didn't want to be like the first one to turn up either. And then there were like 30 women that came that day. And they were
amazing.
And it was just the most beautiful, soul like affirming thing that I think is like top 5 of things I've ever done, like the 4 kids and that. And Neil's up there as well, marrying Neil. But I knew in my heart that I needed to do it, and then having women come and join me on that journey, and then over the years having coached hundreds and hundreds of women who have then gone on either to stay at 5K or to coach other women.
Yeah,
that's everything to me. But I was so scared.
And what are the stories that come out of meeting? What are the common stories that come out of being involved in and meeting some of the women that you've coached, that you've met along the way? There's got to be many common threads.
The common thread is I thought I was too fat.
Oh gosh, it's awful. I feel so
too
bad.
slow.
Yeah, too
slow.
Old. Yeah.
And that I was told that running isn't good for me because it's not good for my knees, and I'm not supposed to do it after like midlife.
Can I tell you something? Right. Okay. And I'm gonna say this, and I'm sure that you've heard about this. You'll have experienced something similar. I cannot believe. I mean, bearing in mind, the enormous effort that it's taken from getting from zero fitness and feeling terrible about life to here. The number of people that still feel the need to go, it'll ruin your knees.
I know.
It'll ruin your knees. Like, what do you? Oh my God! Isn't it? Do you know like how many people died last year running? And I'm like that. Oh my God! Are you actually kidding me?
Honestly,
literally, it's real. Your neck in.
Yeah, and it really is. I mean, as you can imagine, for the book, I've done quite a bit of press, and like the one thing, and it's always on social media that comes out is, oh, but I was told it's really bad for your knees. I was told that that running long distance or learning to run after like midlife, after the perimenopause or the menopause, is not good for you. And I'm just like, these are like outdated myths that it's not true. Like, yes, absolutely, in perimenopause and menopause we may experience more joint pain.
Yes,
but actually what what research finds is that the act of running, that ground force impact, and supporting your running with strength training,
thank you,
supporting those joints, it makes your bones stronger. So therefore, actually, running as one of the forms of cardiovascular exercise is one of the best forms of how we stay stronger, how our cardiovascular system continues to build, how we deal with those ups and downs of hormone levels fluctuating, better sleep, etc. So I just say to women, I say, look, if there's an underlying reason that you would experience more joint pain, etc., go see a doctor, go find a physio. You can self-refer on the NHS, but bear in mind that doctors have their own bias too. So I am an ultramarathon runner, right? If I go to a doctor and say, oh, I'm just having a bit of a thing, they'll just say, well, just don't run.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, that's not. So I'll always look for doctors and physios that have specialisms within running.
It's
as
a
well.
great tip. It's a really good tip.
And they are out there,
because even physios to a certain degree, if they don't have specific running training, are quite likely to say,
just don't run.
Stop running.
Just don't run. So what I will say is, like, we are not a monolith. The thing that makes us beautiful is that we're all so individual and so different.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, if it really concerns you, go get a check over. But the research states, and the experts that I spoke to within the book as well, running by and large, is going to make those bones stronger. It is going to, as we go into menopause, etc., and with strength training alongside it, you are going to feel the strongest and probably the most fittest that you ever have.
We are, so at this stage in the podcast, so we are now episode 6, episode 7, and as we kind of sort of talking to the people, our little community here on I Can Run a Marathon, everybody's at the same sort of stage now, which is we're sort of 13 miles.
Oh God.
Okay, so and I've done 13 miles. Thank you very much.
Yes.
I loved the day. The day was amazing, but it was a trail run as well.
Yeah.
But it took me a couple of days to recover.
It's gonna.
I think this bit it starts to get. And this is for you as an ultra runner, somebody who has, competed in some of the world's toughest races. You crazy lady! Oh my God! It's amazing though, and it is amazing. It is amazing watching you and to find out, so when the going gets tough for you, where do you go? Mm-hmm. What do you do? What's the plan that you've got in your head? Is that emotional? Is it physical? What are the kind of adjustments that you make when the going gets tough?
Oh my God, it's remembering, it's this thing I say, it's like when the going gets tough, when you're in that cave and all you have is a tiny flashlight and you're like chipping away at the pain cave.
Oh my God, wow.
To see if you can see some kind of light. It's like
chipping away at the pain cave.
When you're in it, Emma,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
When they might call it the wall,
yeah,
whatever. When you're in it, and you can be in it, I tell you, you can be in a couch to 5K or a marathon or whatever. When you're in it and you're in the pain cave, it's about expanding that cave, right?
Okay.
So you take your metaphorical little chisel, and every session you do, every step you make, you're just chiseling away at that cave to make it bigger. All right?
Do you know what you're reminding me of? Andy in the Shawshank Redemption.
That's
it. We're building
boom,
the... Yeah.
Boom. And he's hiding the poster.
Yeah, he's hiding the poster. And then...
Boom.
There we go. He's on the beach. He's on the beach.
There you go. There you go. He's on the beach.
God,
Morgan Freeland's running towards him. That Andy, my friend. And he's there and they're free. I swear, this is what it's about. It's every single session. And when I talk about a session,
amazing.
Emma,
Such a great way to think about it. You've got to
just really... And it is these mental strategies, and it is that, what's your why?
Yeah.
Like, keep that why close by, because it's when we lose that, when we're so ensconced in, I've got just another half an hour. All we're focusing on is these external things. We lose.
Yeah.
That internal, like,
you're absolutely right.
Why am I doing this? Because ultimately, when it comes down to it, for you to finish, and you will finish that marathon. You will finish that marathon, and you will be like crossing that line. You'll be like, right, what's the next one? It's about what was that intrinsic reason, because it's the intrinsic reason that keeps you going. And for me, it's my kids.
Yeah.
It's my grandsons. It's like,
you want to be there. Well, you want to be there.
I just want to, you know what? I'm 48 in a week. And I found out 2 weeks ago, this is like an exclusive, but I found out 2 weeks ago that I'm in menopause now.
Okay.
Right?
Wait, stop 1 second. Stop 1 second. Oh my God, babes. Oh my
God.
God. Oh my God. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you.
I knew I had to just give it to you. I found out 2 weeks I'm past perimenopause. I'm in the menopause, right? So it's really caused me to like think, who am I now? But also to feel really powerful.
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 It's honestly, I think, coming out the other end of that horrendous time.
Oh my God.
And into menopause has been, I'm feeling more powerful now than I have in 20 years, in about 20 years, without a shadow of a doubt. Yeah. It's crazy, isn't it?
And it was like a moment when I got a call from the doctor because I had an awful situation at a race that I did in January, a 50K, and I really thought I might be ill. And
was this when plan A, B, C, and D didn't work? Yeah, but mate, you got through that.
I know, I did.
That looked unpleasant.
It was
for
a battle.
You.
It was a battle, and I really, that why close by was like every single step.
Well done.
But I was like, I need to understand if there's more going on.
Of course.
So basically, had tests done, etc., etc. And she called me on the Sunday night. Was like, you're not dying, right? But you are in menopause now.
And I guess that as well, that when you get a little bit older, whether you're super fit or you're just starting, you'd have to listen to your body, and that's part of getting this. This is part of this journey for you, is knowing yourself and knowing your body
and knowing that like your journey is not the same as Pam next door. Like Pam next door that like wakes up at 6:30 every morning. She's out there. She's out and back by the time.
She's got no friends. She's really annoying.
She's really annoying. She's got no life.
She always knows what day the bins are supposed to be out.
You know what I mean? And we love her for that because we always forget. We love her for that.
Yeah, it's Pam. She's the Pam, the bin lady.
But Pam's Pam, and you're Emma, and I'm Sabs. And what we have to understand is that if all we do in this running journey is compare ourselves with Pam or Linda or Sarah,
you're never going to do anything.
You're never going to do anything, and you're always just going to feel a little bit.
Yeah.
You're going to feel a little bit pants. So therefore, that's why this book, I encourage women on every page, listen to your body. Mm-hmm. What is your body telling you? And it's why I advocate the rate of perceived exertion training, right? It's like why I don't believe in like, these are your prescriptive minute miles or minute kilometres for what age you are, what you last did a 5K. And it's like, no, every single day, Emma, it's like I saw on your social media the other day, you're going to have runs some days that feel amazing.
Yes, yeah.
And you're going to do the same run or even less distance the next day or a couple of days after. And you're going to be like, I don't feel as though I can run at all.
And it's really important. I'm so glad that you're saying this, because even today, and I was on the show today, there's a lovely lady who runs, and she always tells me about her runs, and called Louise. Hello, Louise. And Louise had WhatsApped in to say that she did 7.5, and it was a nightmare. It was awful. And she said, oh, and it made me, I felt so defeated, and I feel like it really rocks my confidence. And I said, look, I'm only going on what's happening to me, but that happens to me all the time.
And it will.
Yeah.
Because we are complex. We are beautiful, complex, just like unique beings.
And the kind of things then, Sabrina, the kind of things that can so let's chat about Louise then. Louise, who had a terrible run that she's done 1,000 times. Mm-hmm. It wasn't very far. What are the kind of things that can affect the success of that run?
Sleep.
Yeah.
Stress. The kids, the husband, the dog, what she ate, not just yesterday, but what she ate 7 days ago.
Wow.
Where she is in her period, her menstrual cycle, where she is perimenopausally, where she is in menopause. Everything feeds into that run.
Yeah.
Please, let's stop beating ourselves up because we think, well, I should have smashed that. It said on the plan that I had to do that. But actually, I felt really rotten doing that. Give yourself grace because you actually got out and you were moving your body. Everything, Emma, feeds into how you feel in that session.
Can I just say as well, because this is really important, that women are not small men.
Women are not small men.
We're different.
You have to remember, women listening to this, sports science is based upon small men. 6% of sports science research is based on women. Why? Because women are complex. Yeah. We're too difficult.
Is it that little?
It's that little.
Christ.
I think it's something like 6.25% of sports science. And what you have to remember, Emma, that's not just informing running programs. That informs everything.
Yeah.
From kit we wear, shoes we wear, technical clothing we wear, food we eat, sports nutrition that we take on board. It affects, that research affects everything because what it's done for...
That's mad when you say that like that.
I know.
That's absolutely blown my mind.
So women, when they, as you said, women that, there's a high propensity of women that halfway through, around about 60% of women will stop the couch to 5K.
Yeah.
Because A, as we've said, they've gone too far, too fast, too quickly. But also... the programs they're following aren't even designed for them. They're not even, they've picked a program off online or they've read a book and it's like, okay, well, this is how I should train. But the training program's not based upon their physiology, anything like that.
So if you are, and I mean, apart from obviously coming to you and having you all to myself, what if you are going to start? Is the message then, pick a program by all means, but know that it's not. It is not going to be the perfect solution. Know your body, approach it with, the compassion that you need to yourself. Or if you can, if it's within your budget at all to spend some time with someone who really knows what they're talking about, that's worth doing.
So it's twofold. So I get it right. Some sports coaches, etc., it can be expensive. We don't all have that kind of disposable income. What I would say is, number one, the caveat that you've said, if you're going to pull a program off online or you've seen something in a magazine, always know that it has not been written for you. So therefore, give yourself grace. Yeah. And yes, you have the skeleton of the plan there, but bear in mind that they don't know who you are. They don't know what kind of quality sleep you had the night before. They don't know the stress you're dealing with.
And it doesn't build into the program. No one on the program's going to go, don't worry about it, you had a crap night's sleep.
Exactly.
Just like take the day off and do some stretching. They're not going to do that.
Exactly. And bear in mind that the session itself, so when you're going out running, that's the stimulus, right? So that is where your body is adapting, you're progressing through, whether it's a little bit, you're doing some intervals on a run or you're doing some hill sprints on a run or whatever. Where you're getting stronger isn't in the run, it's in the rest. And what happens? We say to ourselves, maybe get a bit too over enthusiastic. We think, you know what, I ran yesterday, but I'm feeling so good, I'm going to go out and run again today. Or I'm going to do a strength session on top of that run I did yesterday.
Yeah.
Your body gets stronger at rest. Rest is where those tiny tears that have happened when you're doing your session, and micro tears, it's where they meld back together that you get stronger. If you're not resting, if all you're doing is running and then going on to strength training and then maybe going on to yoga and then maybe walk, like if you're not getting quality rest in, your body is going into a state that it's not able to repair.
And by rest, it means sit on the sofa, put your feet up and watch the telly.
Absolutely.
Right, okay.
Rest, what I say, rest hard, train easy.
Okay.
And when I say train easy, what that means is that if you are allowing your body adequate time to recover, your training runs, that stimulus, you're going to feel more ready for them. And you're going to get more of those sessions where you're like, you know what? I'm a bit special here. I did a lot better today than I thought I would. Look, my Gloucestershire accent's coming out now.
I overdue one of those. Last weekend, the weekend before we did the 30 miles, and I did feel a bit special after that. And you do start yearning for those because you hit that. And, for those of you who have had a shit week and, it's been difficult and, we've all had them. Just remember those moments where you kind of go, oh, it's working. It's working. Is amazing. That feeling is amazing. That's really new to me.
Yeah.
When you kind of just go, I feel like I must look like Paula Radcliffe right now. And in my head, like this, I'm like, I am so gliding like a gazelle.
I know.
I'm bouncing and my strides are really long and actually I'm still going, I know. Like that.
You catch yourself in a mirror or something, or a window. You're like, what? Who's that woman next?
I don't care because I feel amazing.
I swear. And it's the thing is that, training is all about progressive adaptation. So we're progressing. So if you think about a 4-week cycle.
Yeah.
So you're progressing up for 3 weeks and then you're going into like a regression week. So your mileage is dropping.
Yes.
And that has to happen because if all you're doing is building, you're not getting that rest. rest, you're not getting that adaptation, your body will break, basically.
So in terms of the program at the moment, because we've just had this week was a low week, so we're now up for another 2.
Yeah, that's it.
And is that from now on onwards to marathon day? You would expect a couple of more of those before we start to pick.
So you're basically heading towards like your peak weeks, right? So basically, any program, any coach worth their salt will know. But when it comes to running, you basically have your period of progression, and then you have your adaptation where it dips where you're in. So it's giving your body a real good chance to recover. Your load is down. You're getting more recovery, etc. And then you'll go up. But with the next time you go up, you'll go up a bit higher. Yeah. And then you dip down, and then you go up a bit until you reach
that. Kind of doing this.
That's it. That's it. Until you reach those peak weeks, and then you're like taper, and then the maranoia sets in.
The what?
Have you heard of the term maranoia?
Oh, hang on. I've had a couple of stress dreams. Is that the same thing?
It's the same thing. So basically, maranoia, it's like paranoia, but it's for marathons, right? Marathon runners. So basically, you'll do your taper week, and you'll be like, I'm there. Like, I've almost got through your 12 or your 16-week training block. And then suddenly you're like, your mileage starts to reduce because you're getting near race day, right? And then you start going, oh, have I done enough? Oh, is that a niggle I can feel? Oh, I'm feeling slightly hot. You start to get maranoia.
That's
Nothing's
amazing.
happening in your body. Your body is just, you're conserving your energy, you're refueling, ready for marathon day, but your head's like, I've got a niggle, and you're have I got a niggle? Am I running funny? I'm feeling off. It's maranoia.
Okay.
It happens to
it's
us
normal.
all. It's
Fine.
normal.
Okay, cool.
It is most people, I'd say 99% of people get it.
Yeah.
Know that it is normal and just ride it. All right.
Oh my God.
It's so exciting.
No, it is, and I'm like, it is exciting. It is exciting, but I can, there's been a couple of nights that I've had when I've kind of laid in bed and just gone, like this.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking, but that was right at the beginning when, and I think maybe the other thing as well when you're starting off running is that, especially if you're going from like 0 to let's run a marathon, Emma, well done. That was a good idea.
Superhero.
Well, it's yet to be done yet.
I believe in you.
It's yet
you know
to
what?
be done. But you kind of, I think the other thing is to just break it down in your head. Just break it down in your head, because you can't, and even I guess as well. So when you're doing something like the Marathon des Sables, which is, I mean, hello. like I've never met anyone that's done it. I've never met anyone that's done it.
I loved it.
Did you really?
I loved it, Emma.
Did you love it?
I loved it. I did it in 2018. So I did it 9 years after I started running.
Just for those people that don't know, what is it?
It is a multi-stage ultra marathon in the Sahara Desert.
Loony!
I know. I still look at me. I'm still like, I can't. It was like never in my wildest dreams. And you know what got me to do it?
Yeah.
I went into recovery, so I'm a recovering alcoholic.
Yeah.
And it was a Saturday night, and I couldn't drink. And I was flicking through the television, and there was a documentary with James Cracknell in it, the Olympian. And he was bringing up green bile. And I was like, what is this? And then Jimmy Nesbitt's voiceover was like, this is the I can't do Irish, but he basically said, this is the Marathon des Sables, the toughest foot race on earth. And I was like watching it, and I said to my husband, I could never do that. But then there was this little voice that was like, I wonder if I could do that.
I'm going to say, I could never do that. But the reason why I'm saying I could never do that is because in your head, you're kind of going,
I know, right?
Hang on
a minute. And it was one of the most beautiful, just like, I did it for my 40th birthday as a gift to myself.
Yeah.
Who does that?
It's amazing.
But it stays with me because it changed my life. That race changed my life.
How far?
250 kilometers over 5 days. The longest day being, I think, on our year, like 86 kilometers. And I did 86 kilometers in 40-degree heat, carrying everything on my back, literally on 2 malt loaves.
Oh my God.
Because I couldn't get my couldn't get my stove to light. Because
So hang on a second. So you're cooking for
you're
yourself.
Cooking for yourself
along the way. So
yeah.
it's survival.
It's self-sufficient. No one does anything for you. You carry your sleep stuff, your food, everything on your back.
You're kidding me.
Yeah. It was what they call
feral,
a self.
babe. That's
feral. Yeah, and I smelt so bad, but it was an open-sided tent, so nobody cared. But it was, you carry everything. And the reason I had the 2 malt loaves is because it was a really windy day, and I couldn't light my stove to make my food, so I had to do it on like 2, which I would never recommend to anyone. But again, I had to go into that cave, with my little thing.
And you did. You were chipping away.
I was chipping
in that
away.
Way. Okay.
And I pulled out. I had like a survival pack, which I recommend any runner has. And in my pack, I had letters from my kids.
Oh, these are the things that people take with them. These really move me.
Pulled it out. I pulled one out because I was like howling into the night like a banshee. Like, how am I gonna just do this? How am I gonna get to the end? And I pulled out this thing, and it was a photo my little girl had done of me, and it was a little stick woman. Honestly, I get emotional thinking about it. And she was just like there in the desert, in the sand that Cece had written, and it had a banner and it said Sabrina Pace-Humphreys, winner of the Marathon des Sables. And I was like, oh my God, and I crawled to that finish line. And it was that, and that's what I'd say to you, Emma, like it's an anyone training for any distance. It's like, what's that thing when your mind might let you down that you can touch and feel? Some people have like little bungee laminated photos like onto their running packs or whatever that they can just look at, because sometimes it is really hard to get yourself out of that like negative Nancy space, right?
Yeah.
And it takes something visual. So for me, it was like knowing that I had that, and that's the only time I ever went into it, and seeing that she believed in her mummy could like win this thing. It was everything that I needed. It was when my own mind in that pain cave was being overrun by the demons. It was the work that I'd done before I even got there to help myself.
Yeah.
By getting my kids to do that.
Yeah.
Got me through that bit. And I've still got that photo. I've still got that little, it's in my cave. My cave belongings.
For those of you who have not read this, all right, hang on a second, there we go. For those of you who haven't, this is your story, but it's an incredible story, and I'm so grateful for you spending the time to come in, and I'm so grateful for your encouragement and your energy, and your wise words. And for those of you who have not got this yet, start where you are, the beginner's 5K running guide for women from Sabrina Pace-Humphreys. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And I am going to be cheering you on all the way.
Thank you. Because you're not doing this one, are you?
No, I'm not.
I'm
cheering. I'm cheer squad.
I'll look forward to that. Thank you. Big thanks to Sabrina for joining us. I promised you mega, and we delivered mega. She's incredible. And don't forget, you can catch up on all our previous episodes with Skin from Skunk and Nancy, and Helen Thorne, and Nell McAndrew, and the brilliant Brian E. Gordon, and the incredible Ailish McColgan, who's faster than highlights. And coming next week, it's Kate Rowham, and she has got just endless advice about nutrition and recovery and strength training, especially at this time in our lives. Every week we want to hear about how your training is going. Don't leave me hanging. I'm not doing this on my own. So any wins, any wobbles, any niggles, any questions that you might want answering as well from some of our fabulous experts and guests. If you would like to do that, you can leave us a comment, or you can WhatsApp us as well on +44 333 000 333 and please share this with anyone that you think might enjoy it, or could do with some inspiration, or might be on their running training journey as well. And hit subscribe so that you never miss an episode. And I'll catch you every weekday morning on Virgin Radio from 10 till 2, and here for the next episode of I Can Run a Marathon.